Hello guys, let's continue where we left in the previous tutorial. So now you can see this is the password field. Type we want it to be password because this is the password field. We don't want text to be visible when user writes his password. That's why we write the type password. You guys know because you know HTML. I think you can see now this is password. Now let's write an event handler on click. Whenever user clicks on submit button, we want to run a function that will validate our form. Okay, let's call it validate form. Okay, validate form function will run when user clicks on submit button. Okay, now let's write this function here in our script tags. Function validate form. Now whenever user clicks on submit button, we want to get values of all these three text fields. Okay, to get the values of these text fields, we have to provide them an ID. Okay, so that we can check them or we can validate them according to their ID. Okay, so what we need to do is write ID is equal to, this is the first name, let's write f name, that means first name. There are many other ways you can get these values. For example, you can do this according to the name. There is an attribute called name. You can do this through the name attribute. But if you want to make an advanced type of a form like Facebook does, they just do the same thing. They just write the ID. Okay, this is the modern way to validate a form. Okay, just follow me in what I'm saying. The one I'm saying that you can use the name attribute, that is deprecated, that is not used now. Okay, modern web developers don't use that kind of validation process. Okay, let's write an n name. L name means last name, and this is the email. Let's write email, and this is the password. Let's write password. ID equals password. Now let's validate this. Now first let's check if this is working correctly. I'm gonna write alert. This is just the testing purposes, is if our submit button is working correctly. It's working, I know, but I just want to check. Okay, let's write working. Refresh. I'm gonna submit and it should working. Okay, it means our function is working correctly. I'm gonna remove this. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna use a div tag to demonstrate not demonstrate, to display errors. Okay, I want a div tag to be in here that will display the error if user have not entered a value. Okay, now let's create the div tag first, then we will do the other stuff. Div id, I'm gonna write it display stuff. You can write any name you want. Okay, div. So now let's give it some style so that it displays something cooler, and I'm gonna give it some margin. I don't want it to be congested here. We'll apply CSS later. Okay, like I said, I'm not gonna use any CSS to make this beautiful. I just want to make things simple so you guys fully understand how this stuff work using JavaScript. Okay, we will do CSS later. Okay, now first let's get these input values and these elements. Like in the previous section, or I think in the first section, I showed you how we can get an element. We use get element by id function to get an element. So first element that we want to get is f name. Okay, So let's write f name, that means first name. I'm gonna say get element by id. Make sure you spell this right, otherwise it's not gonna work. Okay, f name, that means first name. We successfully got the field called f name. We want to get its value, okay, that is inside this input field. To get that value we use value, value. Now this value will give us the value of this input field, which is first name. I have shown you how we use this get element by id function in the first section, I think. We are forgetting one thing. Don't forget to write document first, okay, because I told you that the web browser here, this is the web page or document from here to here. Okay, we have to write document, and then we say get element by id called f name from this document. Okay, now what you need to do is just copy and paste, then write l name. Now this will give us the l name id's value. Okay, yeah, here. Now let's copy and paste it again, and then says email. This will give us the value in the email field, and at the end we want the value of password here. Yeah, password. Make sure you write the name of the variables according to these input fields, so that it demonstrates what this variable represents, okay, or what this field represents. Password, first name, last name, email, password. Okay, everything is working great. So now in the next tutorial I will show you how we can validate these variables. Okay, that's it for now. I will see you in the next tutorial.